water puddle was really deep. And I kind of did like Jesus, I think. Because I stepped in it, but I like, super fast. So like my foot bone actually got soaked.
Like, wow, super fast.
That's bad.
You're the best.
Like, wow, super fast.
Ricky Bobby.
Like, now that we're settled, we have a home, we have everything that, you know, a human being needs to live with. I cannot believe that I let myself go without all those years by doing gloves, not having food, toilet paper, shit like that every day, you know? Fucking insane. Insane.
For me, it's actually more of the self-doubting thing. That I'm like, if I think about it, if you were to ask me, like, could you live like that? I'm like, I couldn't possibly live like that. Like, I'm high maintenance. I would die without my things. But, if only when, that's why I talk about it so much, and it kind of sometimes sounds like I'm trying. My sister gets really, really upset because, the Trailer Park Boys. I started watching Trailer Park Boys. I was really, really into it, and she overheard the end of my conversation, which was, oh, like fucking Trailer Park Life, like fucking I love Trailer Park Boys, and she was like, really, really mad? Like you want to go back to living in a trailer park? You enjoy living in a trailer park? I'm like, yeah, Kate. I like living in a trailer park. I want to live in a trailer park. Like every person who lives in one like loves it. Like and they love living there. Like
because you have that little
fucking retard.
You know, when you're in a trailer park, it's because you don't want to have that boundaries you need to keep with the neighbors.
Put it this way, I was I think 20, and I was behind the McDonald's. I didn't even know Shadagi had a trailer park.
Oh.
That is how on the DL this place is. I was like, Shadaga's got a trailer park? It's behind the McDonald's. I'm here every day. How did I not know this? I'm like, oh, right, because I live in one. Like, no one who lives in a fucking trailer park wants to fucking live in a trailer park. Give me a fucking break. Like,
yes and no.
I mean, obvious, though. Unless you're in a summertime trailer park. Like, but, like, a regular trailer park, nobody who lives in one wants to live in one. No. It's because they're poor.
Yeah, like, no, that's it.
So,
it's not insulated properly.
Yeah, no, and I noticed that's kind of like a fact now.
Trailer park has a fireplace.
Wait, what? That's such a bad idea. That's the worst fucking idea.
Well, it's like a cabin kind of thing. No, but like an actual metal fireplace.
Oh, the wood burning stove. Yeah,
wood burning stove.
Not even like a fireplace, but like a chimney. I was like, that sounds like even like a brick house sometimes burn down. They'll burn down from the chimney not being cleaned enough.
Yeah.
People are fucking retarded. Sorry, you're gonna die. Or you're right, making a nest in my bathtub.
Yeah, for that. What's up, mister? What's up with your boobly face? Yep.
Are these all little spiders?
Huh?
These are all little baby spiders.
Kill them. Kill them up. Kill them all, let the body hit the floor.
Fuck about death, make America great again.
Kill them all.
I love you, you're so fucking weird.
It's a song. You want to hear it?
Okay.
It's when the water supply of Flint, Ohio, no, Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
When they got.
I've actually heard this song.
Yeah.
Because I watched that documentary with what's his face? Mark whatever something.
I don't know. Yeah, but these guys are not a band. In our band, like they're all geared up and they have to protect themselves for the water supply and people are shooting each other on the street. So like that's what they're singing. It's like we're buddies, we put our water on the pot and let's go. And you know, the guns are scared of me and then protect each other. If I die, go tell my mom, if you die, I do the same for you. Crazy. They're actually active militants. But they had to pass their message, right? Somehow. Every time he says kill them all, he's gonna put it in someone shooting somebody on the corner. Huh?
You are one of the most twisted individuals. You're like, ha ha ha! Every shot is someone getting shot!
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, the video is not on YouTube. You have to find the video.
Oh.
Yeah, it's too explicit.
Well, rightly so.
Huh?
Like, understandably so.
A little bit. A little bit of pow pow in your face. I'm going nuts. I want to kill things. I don't care what it is. Maybe a raccoon, maybe a squirrel, or maybe the neighbor's kid. Yeah, I'm going nuts. I want to kill things. I don't care what it is. Maybe. What?
What? I kill everyone's cake?
Yeah, nice. Well, what you got there, mister? Maybe don't push against that mirror. Huh? Huh? Yeah, go away with your ball. Push against the mirror. Bang! Flatten the dog.
Flatten the dog. He's pretty good at dodging.
Yeah, but that one he would like back up, and the mirror would probably still get him. Who can stop us now? So people notice the arcades, eh?
Yeah, I noticed that too. People are really into them.
I wonder how old is this guy's dad. Should have asked him. Oh, he's your dad.
Why?
Because his dad is named Yannick. That's pretty much my generation of people named Yannick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What happened to your phone, Jack?
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Oh, you got it. You got it. Mr. Hawkamon. Mr. Hawkamon. Mr. Hawkamon. Mr. Hawkamon. Yeah. Really happy about those tools. I think I'm even more happy than you are.
You have no idea how many times that like I see something, I'm like, yeah, I need to plug that.
I usually do.
Like if I actually had my truck, the amount of fucking garbage I would bring home yet, I don't even understand.
You can always fill the room downstairs that we keep. Like, I'm telling Dom, I'm keeping the 2 back rooms.
The what?
The 2 back rooms, which is the laundry room
Yeah.
and the other room.
Yeah, furniture room.
Yeah.
Well, like, it's not like Dom's gonna be fucking using the furniture room for tools.
No.
Or like a workbench.
No. Oh.
What? You got poop?
No.
Oh. What?
He's using it underneath the cabinet over there. What? Shit happens. You still got it. Still got it. Good job.
Good job, Jack.
Good boy, Giacomo.
Did you abandon the dog?
Well, I thought that when he was going to be done with his bugs and bring him up.
I'll bring him up. Go upstairs, see Daddy? He's just like sitting at the bottom of the stairs looking up. Oh, go take that. I'll get your ball. Ugh. Good job. Very good, mister.
That's for your makeup stuff. You want to do makeup stuff?
Oh, you have any friends?
No, but anything.
Oh, I threw you a back thing. You forgot it.
That's where I put my keyboard.
Oh, cool. Very smart.
Here's the computer. I kind of want to.
That was really good.
The tablet.
All mine?
Well, we'll figure it out. I just want to tell this to my PlayStation I got.
Awesome. Like a table?
Self. Self-tablet.
Do you want one of the ones that I painted? Downstairs?
Is there one of those where the roof?
You know what I thought that was really cool? Someone took old, like, drawers, and they took out the back part and they put it on the wall. Like, by yourself.
Oh yeah, okay. I see.
Like they mounted just like the like obviously not one like that because it's not square. But yeah. My back is burning. What you got, mister?
If I put my hand, what you got?
For what?
It's too lazy. I should just put Netflix on my PlayStation. Let's go, big and poop.
Do whatever you want.
I'm a 4-year-old magician. Everything here is together. The streets on the ground will never see. Yeah, black happy.
Just watch it when you first plug it in because I don't know how reliable it is.
hole again? Oh, you're lucky.
What did you eat? You wanted a fucking one thing.
And then I died.
I was gonna say, good thing those things are fucking structurally sound.
A little bit. Eat your food. Don't you gotta do the focus around. Use phone, use remote. Ah! Don't change your phone on your phone or your tablet. Good. So, Anthony, 77. That's it? Yeah. Capital A, Tony. Okay. Or exclamation point, no? Okay, thank you. So much, you cannot even fucking imagine. Wow, that's a big TV.
Happy?
I am.
What are you looking at?
Core, unity, smoking, violence. You know what they count as unity? Big flopping tits. So when a character comes in and they have big tits, the big comes in the room like this, if the tits go 3 times, like point, 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 it comes there as unity. What? Point, point, point. You know the thing behind the door?
Oh yeah. It was good, but I can't remember something happened. I think it was welfare day. Because I was squeezing and I kept getting the thing behind the door and I kept like squiggling, but it was like giggle time.
That's funny. as low as I want.
Whatever.
It's weird to watch anime in English.
Anime what?
It's very weird to watch anime in English.
Oh yeah.
I only do that since I watch them on Netflix. But when I watch them in Japanese, it just sounds like fucking porn.
It does sound very, what do you call it?
And die.
Something.
Raping almost.
Yes, very much rapey. What?
I got foot rest now. Guys, still cut his own throat. affected by my stroke. I'll forget your back later. Incoming! No, you're not used to hearing me watching my show. Now you're gonna be hearing me watching my show. Don't usually hear me, right?
Are you gonna eat some food, maybe?
I'll do a little bit again. A couple beers. Oh, this is luxury. Yeah.
You worried about that? You turn the bath off if you want.
Huh?
Want to turn my bath off?
No.
Can you cook it?
Yeah. Far from being ready.
Oh, okay.
Well, not far from, but. Oh, is that the weird intro?
Yeah, that's fucking super easy weird.
I know. I skip them usually.
Woo! Like, what you doing? Don't eBay. Just saw you.
I don't see inside
Outside?
yeah.
Oh.
Ah, look at that. Whoa.
Works just fine, right? Without it? So I'll leave it outside for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, pretty good kids off. But, I'll eventually do.
Yeah. That eventually they're gonna want somewhere else.
What? All the names?
Because that's my contract. It's not now. It's when you kind of table. Have a nice
I was like, why don't we put that football? That's a fucking expensive chair. Stop that. I know.
I don't think the,
Huh?
no, it's just for a fact that chair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they can go back.
Oh, good.
Oh well. This one, the other one does it. Right, good one. No, I want to do it here. Is that against the magnet?
bathroom again. Oh, dying.
What are you laughing for?
Nothing. I didn't think you could hear me.
Well, I can hear everything.
What are you, fucking Sauron?
What?
What are you? Ah! Fuck!
Ew.
That fucking stupid light ball. Thing is fucking meant to break. Oh. Do you have a coffee cup? Do you have a coffee cup?
It's on
The stove?
yeah,
Do you want me to make you one?
yeah.
I'm gonna drink some of yours. Wait.
So in that little underneath the TV, I put all the hard drive
Okay.
that must never move.
You still have thumb drives in my jewelry box in
Cool.
that gold case.
Yeah. Well, you can always just take them out and
Well, I'm asking you, do you want them?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you the whole box. This box is fucking gold.
Good.
Oh, you found it. Good.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, it's the rest of the. That's the same music as eating ass out.
$11 hard drive. 11 hard drive full of
What?
fraud, hacking, credit card number, portfolio, like all of that. It is all not mine.
Who's is it?
KO, the guy that stabbed
Oh, it's okay. Well, he's not getting out anytime soon.
no, he might do
I was gonna tell you, but
7 minutes maybe?
only because you brought it up. It's his birthday today.
Who?
Matt?
His birthday?
Yeah.
Oh. What should I do? Say hey, happy birthday.
I figured like I was not gonna tell you at first, but now I'm talking mom.
Like, yo, happy birthday. So that's that. Yo, happy birthday.
On his Facebook?
Yeah?
That's cool.
Yo, happy birthday. So that's that. Yeah, it doesn't have to answer anything. If you want to ignore it, you know, that can go in
The medicine cabinet.
you know what it is?
No.
Nitroglycerin.
Whoa. Fuck yeah.
Or if I ever do a heart attack, 2 splash underneath my tongue.
That or Tylenol, but it's gotta be the old one.
It's good. And you do one.
You can also spray them on drinks, punch bowls.
This?
Yeah, probably. And it smokes.
Yeah, that's for
You can eat it.
but it's nitroglycerin.
Yeah, you can eat it. Dry ice.
But you know what that's for though? That's for heart attacks.
Yeah.
That's like it actually you can eat that.
Yeah, you
Oh,
could
yeah.
Dippin' Dots. That's how you make Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, but it's not good to take if you don't have any heart problem, if you don't do a heart attack. This is nitro. Like it's like when somebody falls down from a heart attack, put that in their mouth and you come back.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
I don't remember why exactly, but they're installing defibrillators in every public establishment in Canada, and they're going to teach every one of these establishments, like their staff, how to use the defibrillator. I was like, that's fucking stupid. Okay, I have a,
Oh, it is another can.
I have it. Thank you.
Oh, the edge is cutting me.
Oh. You okay?
Yeah. I'm a strong man.
Juice pen.
Hmm?
Juice pen. This is fucking lame. Why are you watching this?
Huh?
Why are you watching this?
I don't know what's going on right now.
It's very off.
What is it?
I don't know.
It's supposed to be killing, like a police kind of investigation because it's some killing. Oh, okay. It's getting weird now. There's a little bit of fantasy in it.
A little bit of what?
You know when something is not in the real world? It's fantastic.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. Not based on real life. Oh, look at these.
Woo! Where'd you get those?
Mike.
Been talking recently?
Nope.
Basically all your recycling.
Huh?
Then basically takes up about all your recycling.
Okay.
Already done. Okay?
Like, you guys gonna go together or what? No. It's the second time I tried it. First time, the first 2 minutes, I stopped it. Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Language, sex, smoking, suicide, violence.
Okay.
Squid Game.
I heard that's a really good show.
Good. Call 1-800.
We are on the way to becoming a two-tiered society, composed of a few winners and a larger group of Americans whose anger and whose disillusionment is easily manipulated. The old middle class has become an anxious class, worried not only about sustaining their incomes, but also about keeping their jobs and their health insurance. On a recent national poll, 55% of American adults said they no longer believe that you can build a better life for yourself and your family by working hard and playing by the rules. In the years after World War II, America built the biggest middle class in world history on the foundation of that bargain. We turned our hard work into homes and cars and health care and pensions, and the middle class grew and prospered and enriched further as the barriers to race and class and gender slowly began to fall. They began to fall. Poverty reached an historic low, and the sense of possibility, that wonderful sense of possibility, grew stronger. But then something happened. Around 15 years ago, this American dream began to fade. And as it faded, middle-class families tried every means they had of holding on. Spouses went to work. When did you find that great increase in women in the workforce? In the late 1970s, in the late 1980s. Both parents worked longer hours, or they took multiple jobs. They decided to have fewer kids. Middle class, actually, the number of kids in average middle class families actually declined. Middle class families, notwithstanding these coping mechanisms, middle class families have not been able to regain their footing. They push these coping mechanisms about as far as they can go, and they still feel that they are losing the American dream. My friends, we are on the way to becoming a two-tiered society, composed of a few winners and a larger group of Americans left behind, whose anger and whose disillusionment is easily manipulated. Once unbottled, mass resentment can poison the very fabric of society, the moral integrity of a society, replacing ambition with envy, replacing tolerance with hate. Today, the targets of that rage are immigrants and welfare mothers and government officials and gays and an ill-defined counterculture. But as the middle class continues to erode, who will be the targets tomorrow? All of which raises the simple question: why is it no longer the case that working hard and playing by the rules reaps a just reward? Why is it that over the past 15 years, the middle class has been fragmented? Simply this: hard work is not enough anymore because two emerging forces have rewritten the rules. The rules are now different. The first emerging force is technology, largely computerized, computer-based technology, which has either eradicated or devalued every routine job in America, which can be done by a software program, and simultaneously enriched every job utilizing problem-solving skills of the human brain. The second force is global competition, which has reinforced the same trends, imperiling the jobs of those who must compete with low-wage workers elsewhere on the planet, while rewarding those better equipped to take advantage of new markets for American insights and American skills. And we cannot overlook labor unions, whose decline accounts for as much as 20% of the increase in wage inequality among men. Now, we know that we cannot resurrect the old middle class in the first decades after World War II. The economy has changed forever. We can't bring that back. But what we can do is clear the way for a new middle class, a middle class equipped to master the realities of the new economy, at least as large, even more inclusive than the vast middle class of our younger years. A new middle class with plenty of room for people to play by the rules, without requiring necessarily a four-year college degree as an entry ticket. A new middle class that rests on a refinement of the old American bargain. You take responsibility for working hard, you get a chance to work smart. The private sector has a critical role to play in creating this new middle class. It will not happen unless companies invest heavily in training their workers to use the new technologies and give them authority to make decisions. This is not a matter of charity. This is not a matter of doing good. This is a matter of the bottom line. The best companies in this country right now, large and small, Levi Strauss, Lincoln Electric, LS Electro Galvanizing, Anheuser-Busch, they are treating their workers as assets to be developed, nurtured, trained, rather than as costs to be cut. Some of them also sharing with their workers the upside gains of the enterprise, as well as the downside risks, converting a portion of wages into a share of the profits, bringing their employees in as genuine partners. I've begun to travel around the country. I'm going to do much more of this, celebrating the companies and the workers that are leading the way in this new compact. And mark my words, if American industry fails to forge such a compact with their workers, it will jeopardize American competitiveness in decades to come. If American business continues to pursue short-term profits at the price of insecurity and falling living standards for a large portion of our society, it will sooner or later reap the bitter harvest of popular rage. The American public is basically pro-business, but that support rests upon an implicit bargain. And American business betrays that bargain every time it fires an older worker in order to hire a younger one at a lower cost. Every time it provides gold-plated health insurance to top executives, but it cuts health insurance or denies health insurance to its regular workers. Every time it labels an employee who had been a full-time employee an independent contractor for the purpose of getting that employee off the payroll and lowering various benefits. Every time it discards its workers rather than investing in their future capacity to produce, and produce more, and produce better, and produce smarter, particularly when profits are booming. What America must do, fundamentally, is empower every man and woman to earn their way into the new middle class. This is the administration's central mission. We must not be distracted and will not be distracted by secondary concerns or entangled in partisan wrangling. We are eager to cooperate with the new leadership in Congress on how best to rebuild the middle class. But there will be no compromise on our dedication to this mission. Because America's real choice for the future in the coming decades is between strenuous measures to restore our middle-class tradition and equally strenuous but infinitely sadder efforts to accommodate ourselves to its disappearance. Thank you and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
About time to wrap things up. At least that's what the West, the U.S. included, is signaling to Ukrainian President Zelensky about the country's almost two-year war with Russia. U.S. mission to NATO all but spelled it out in a recent post pushing for peace at this point, saying, quote, "We are focused on setting the conditions for a just, durable, and sustainable peace." And an official seemed to walk that statement back hours later, posting, quote, "Let's be clear, we reaffirm our enduring commitment to Ukraine and its people, and durable peace means not caving to Russia's brazen attempts to redraw borders by force."
Meanwhile, in an interview with Eurasia magazine, economist and professor at Columbia University, Jeffrey Sachs explained how a 30-year-old promise the U.S. made to Russian President Gorbachev in 1990 that NATO would not expand into Eastern Europe was broken just 2 years later and led to the war in Ukraine. Here to delve further into this with us is Dr. Jeffrey Sachs himself. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, great to be with you. Thank you.
All right, so this question on everybody's mind is, how bad faith were Americans' commitment to basically fund Ukraine to the end? Because what it appears to be the case now is that we had an almost 2-year war, at the beginning of which were opportunities for a negotiated peace, which was scuttled by the U.S. and the UK. And now it seems that America's attention is divided with the conflict in Gaza. It's basically giving up on Ukraine and telling it to wrap things up, suggesting that America's investment in that particular conflict was not one of principle. What do you make of this?
Well, the war has been going on for 9 years since the U.S. participated in the violent overthrow of a Ukrainian president that wanted neutrality for his country, not NATO. And since February 2014, the war has been going on, but of course it escalated tremendously with Russia's special military operation that began on February 24th, 2022. During this whole period, the U.S. had a weak hand, and it played it terribly, absolutely disastrously. At every step, Ukraine could have been saved, but the United States kept upping the ante, and Ukraine kept losing more. What I mean by this is that when the United States proposed to expand NATO to Ukraine, the Russians said, no way. That goes back to 2008, by the way, but the original promise of no NATO enlargement goes back to the late 1980s and early 1990s. But in any event, after 2008, President Putin and the whole Russian political class was absolutely clear. Do not do this. Then the United States got mixed up. Victoria Nuland was the point person in the overthrow of a Ukrainian president, President Viktor Yanukovych, and then Russia retook Crimea. It wasn't even demanding Crimea, it was demanding a lease on its naval base until 2042, but then it took Crimea. Then the United States upped the ante, started sending in weapons. We've got your back. President Putin said in December 2021, let's negotiate over this. The United States said, no way, it's none of your business. Special military operation started. Ukraine said in March 2022, okay, we can be neutral. The war could have ended immediately then. But the United States intervened and said, no, we've got your back. You don't have to be neutral. We're going to expand NATO. And this was terrible mistakes, predictably terrible mistakes. They kept upping the ante. Now Ukraine has lost hundreds of thousands of people. The population has, it's declined by millions because of mass emigration, partly to Russia, partly to Western Europe. The military losses on the battlefield are mounting. So of course they've just done a terrible job, and I've been saying this to the White House every step of the way. And of course then the Gaza war began, the diverted attention, but even before October 7 and even before this new disaster in the Middle East, Ukraine was in a terrible, failing position because of so many U.S. mistakes and the Ukrainians following the U.S. lead, even though it was predictably disastrous. And it's so easy to see, but Biden played it wrong at every moment.
Right. So many voices like yourself, like other people we've had on this program, going through that storyline just like you have, and saying that obviously there will come a point where they have to negotiate because Ukraine cannot really hope to defeat Russia. The idea that Vladimir Putin is going to be toppled is fanciful, and yet the Biden administration said that we're going to support this war effort for as long as it takes, implying even if it takes forever, we'll support it. Now we learn, of course, that's not true. There's a finite amount of time and attention and resources we're willing to commit to this conflict, and it's about over. Is this a case where, you know, what were the intelligence, what were the defense experts thinking behind closed doors? You might have more insight than we do. Were they naive, or did they actually think that somewhere before this point, where we're not willing to fund the resistance any longer, that they were actually going to deal a lethal blow to Russia, or at least eject them from the country?
Robbie, you know, I'm an old guy, so I've been through this a lot of times with Vietnam, with Afghanistan. We all saw now with Ukraine. This is standard operating procedures of the United States. Overpromise, oversell, get into proxy wars, and then they fail. So this is happening now. Did David Petraeus really believe in June of this year that Ukraine's going to make a decisive breakthrough and shock everybody? I don't know. Maybe he did, but people who were watching this closely absolutely said, "No way, are you kidding?" And of course, those other people were right. We've run out of time, we've run out of patience, we've run out of budget support, we've run out of 155 millimeter shells, and tragically, Ukraine's running out of soldiers. So that old line of that we are in there till the last Ukrainian is tragically, literally happening right now, in the sense that Ukraine has lost hundreds of thousands of people in this absolutely stupid, avoidable conflict. So it's gonna stop. It has to stop. NATO, that means the United States, by the way. It doesn't mean anything else. It means the United States has to help to end this in the most favorable way by saying exactly, okay, we're not going to enlarge. It was some lame brain idea of George W. Bush Jr., and we kept it going, and we should have negotiated with you. The whole thing was a stupid idea. We're going to have to say that, because otherwise Russia's not going to accept a ceasefire or something when the United States is going to come back in and say, oh, NATO's enlarging. They don't want NATO there, and they're going to make sure that NATO's not there, and we need to negotiate like grown-ups and play a hand that we have, not a hand of wishful thinking. Otherwise, Ukraine's just going to continue to lose more and more and more.
Yeah, such an important point about the human cost on the military. I saw it reported that Ukraine's starting to recruit, conscript women into the military, and Max Blumenthal posted a disturbing video earlier this week of new recruits who all look to be men in their 50s and 60s. So it does look like there's been just an incredible human toll on the people of Ukraine who've been made to fight this proxy war. But I did want to turn to this new reporting about the Nord Stream pipeline. Last week, it was reported that Ukrainian military official Roman Travinsky played a central role in the 2022 sabotage of the Nord Stream pipeline. Now, according to the Washington Post, which first reported the revelation, he led a 6-person team to blow up the pipelines that carried natural gas from Russia to Germany. This isn't Ukraine's first foray into Russian assets, but the attack implicated civilian infrastructure, potentially disrupting energy, obviously, for millions of Europeans. You know, what do you make of this new reporting? How credulously should we be looking at it in light of the kind of wave of stories that we've seen coming out offering different explanations for who was responsible for Nord Stream?
By the way, first thing, don't believe anything the government says. It makes up whatever is convenient, and so there's absolutely no credibility to pinning it on one person who happens to be under wraps and in custody in Ukraine. So I'm still going with Seymour Hersh till I hear otherwise, but who knows? I testified in the UN Security Council on a session calling for an independent UN-led investigation. Who blocked it? The United States government. So, you know, a leak in the Post, come on, of course, what do we know? But what we do know, even from that leak, is the CIA now tells us, oh, we knew all about this, and we even warned them against it. Whereas others say, the CIA trained this guy. Whereas others say this is yet another cover story because the one that Seymour Hersh talked about is the real story. I don't know, but what I do know is the United States has blocked any real investigation of this. And at the beginning, when Nord Stream was blown, the first words pointed by all the mainstream media was, oh, look what the Russians have done, which was obviously phony and another narrative. So we should be used to rampant government lying on something like this, and we need an independent investigation. The UN is the place to do it, and the United States raised its hand to block such an independent investigation, but that's exactly what we need.
We're so grateful that Dr. Sachs was able to join us. We have another interview with him that will come out during the Thanksgiving holiday. You don't want to miss it. Elon Musk has declared war on the very liberal online watchdog group Media Matters for America, claiming that the group manipulated data to try and destroy X. As The Hill reported earlier, Musk X alleges that Media Matters exploited the platform's features of allowing users to control the content they see on their feed by creating a secret account designed to evade normal safeguards and then manipulating every aspect of the system through which posts and advertisements appear, ultimately creating these side-by-side images of objectionable content and advertisements. Now, Musk alleges that Media Matters used the fake account to compile a report that they then turned around and showed to advertisers in an attempt to get them to drop X. The attempt has worked, as Apple, Disney, and Paramount all removed their advertisements from the platform.
Now, Musk was not without his defenders, including Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who opened an investigation into Media Matters over the incident. Musk posted the investigation's announcement on X, saying fraud has both civil and criminal penalties. Another Musk defender was friend of the show, Michael Schellenberger. In a post on X, Schellenberger argued that he and a co-author tried various ways to replicate Media Matters' research and couldn't, claiming the real goal of Media Matters isn't to fight anti-Semitism, it's to destroy X as a free speech platform. Musk responded by writing, Media Matters is pure evil.
Schellenberger appears in a new documentary, The Censorship Files, which is about his work exposing the suppression of speech on social media. Let's watch some of that trailer.
Moments of real terror at what's going on, potential for tyranny. To see it happening is shocking.
If the Supreme Court says that the government can coerce, pressure, work with tech companies to censor speech, I don't think that the First Amendment has any meaning anymore.
Especially when you have the crisis situation that you need the First Amendment.
Joining us now is Michael Schellenberger to talk with us about his piece and how Media Matters is, in fact, trying to obliterate X. Thank you so much for joining us, and congrats on the new film, the documentary. The trailer looks very good.
Thanks, good to be with you guys.
So let's get right into this. This is obviously a very big story, and now lawsuit being filed and all of that. Tell us about your efforts to see if Media Matters did in fact have a point, and all of this very objectionable content was appearing alongside advertisements, or was Media Matters in fact misrepresenting the situation?
Yeah, so I mean, we just did what I think any investigative journalist would want to do when they saw the Media Matters report. The Media Matters report claimed that they were served up ads from big brands, including Apple and IBM, next to pro-Nazi content. So we attempted to replicate what Media Matters had done. We created new accounts. We followed the exact same pro-Nazi accounts that Media Matters had highlighted, 11 accounts. And we did not get any of those ads. We did not get any ads. We even went into the accounts themselves. After that failed, we then followed 3 times more pro-Nazi accounts, 30 accounts. Same thing, we could not get them to replicate. Now you may say, well, X changed the algorithm in between the time of the Media Matters publication and when we went online. And that very well could have happened. However, I think you have to keep in mind then that it would suggest that it's still, that it was something that would have been fixed very quickly, that it was some sort of a glitch that Media Matters had basically gamed in order to come up with this outcome. I mean, in other words, Media Matters went into this wanting to tie...
Why are you only showing me reruns?
Rerun. So if people like remix, you can try chicken for a day, Yeah,
What the fuck?
And did anything come up tonight?
What the fuck?
The mother and the stepdad are all going somewhere. They're moving to the U.S. next year. You'll see next year. Next year? That's right. The stepdad's job begins soon and he's in the rule. So the entire family is going to move there. You hear me?
Yep.
Talking to me anyway right now.
I love you.
You need to get your daughter to stay here.
Shopping at Unifree is simply
Fucking
brilliant,
asshole.
because you'll find gift ideas for every...
Fuck, I hate you.
Is there on the light up there?
Sure.
Thank you.
Let's go wait a sec.
I talked to that young man upstairs who knows the law, and he said that the father will have to show the child financial support, and when you could prove that, then if she moves to the U.S., you know what will happen? She'll forget how to speak Korean. She won't be able to talk to you like she can right
Oh, the
now.
subway in there? They have a wall, so it's like a double door when the subway comes in.
Are you sure that you
Cool.
Yeah, so people can throw themselves in front of it.
boys without
Wow. Okay.
Actually pretty cool. South Korea.
There are so many clocks ticking right now.
Huh?
There's so many clocks ticking.
Clocks.
This is the ride.
Yeah, but when you got 100 clocks ticking, it's not the same as having only one.
All questions orales. The honorable member from Regina Capel. Budget was full of bad news for Canadians. Rent up, taxes up, prices up, and interest rates up to fight the inflation his deficits caused. And Scotiabank said that their mortgage mortgage rates would be 2 full percentage points lower if the government could just control its spending. That would be the difference for hundreds of thousands of Canadians between losing their home and being able to renew their mortgage. So, does the government realize that time is running out, and will they end their deficit spending so that Canadians can keep their homes?
Mr. Speaker, the leader of the official opposition and his MPs are simply not worth the risk. He and his MPs voted against the Canada-Ukraine free trade deal. Why, Mr. Speaker? They made a brutal political calculation that they would have more support from their far-right base here in Canada and in Russia and their friends in the United States than if they would abandon Ukrainians. Cold, calculated, cruel. Behold, Mr. Speaker, the new Conservative Party and their MPs. What a disgrace.
The honourable member from Regina Capel. What's disgraceful and cruel is using Ukraine's vulnerability while Russian tanks are on its soil to shove a carbon tax permanently. Except for their terrible budget. That's because not only are workers' paychecks going to pay higher prices and interest rates, but now their tax dollars are going to pay higher interest payments on the national debt. In fact, next year, the government will spend more on that national debt than on healthcare and the armed forces. When will the government stop their deficits so we can pay doctors and nurses and soldiers instead of bankers and bondholders?
Before the Honourable Government House Leader gets up, I just want to encourage members to please do not extend their voices so that the chair can hear the question from the Honourable Leader. I hear it from the far end of the House. The Honourable Government House Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Twice this week, the Leader of the Opposition has demonstrated that he is not working to Canadians. Not only has he been untruthful in why they didn't vote for the Canada-Ukraine free trade agreement, because in fact, there is no price on pollution in that agreement, Mr. Speaker. So we need to ask, what is the real reason behind this wider abandoning support for Ukraine and for freedom and for democracy? And also, yesterday, instead of waiting for information on what happened at Niagara Falls, he jumped straight to concluding that it was a terrorist attack, Mr. Speaker. That is irresponsible, and that is not respectful for Canadians.
The Honourable Member from Regina Capel.
If the government truly wanted to help Ukraine, they would support the conservative motion to
Yeah,
export
I'm
energy
not.
and military equipment
I'll go
instead of
outside.
failed carbon taxes. And if they wanted to be honest with Canadians, they would unveil the details of a $15 billion subsidy to a single battery plant that will allow up to 1,600 workers
Diddly, 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 diddly.
Canadians. Will they do that?
Diddly, diddly.
Publish the agreement so Canadian workers can find out just how many jobs are being filled by taxpayer-funded foreign replacement workers.
Turn off your light. Or you get,
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And unlike the member opposite who, when it came time to find the resolve to stand up to his leader, when it was time to stand with Ukraine, Canada's support for Ukraine is unwavering. Mr. Speaker, we have committed over $2.4 billion in military aid from tanks, armored vehicles, and ammunition. We've trained 37,000 Ukrainian troops. The Prime Minister recently announced an additional $500 million in new funding for military assistance. And yesterday, Mr. Speaker, I spoke to Defense Minister Umaroff, and I told him 10 million additional rounds of ammunition is on the way. Mr. Speaker, our government stands with Ukraine.
oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Are you be upset?
Investigative journalist Matt Taibbi has released what he calls the UK files, exposing Britain's Labour Party's expansive efforts to thwart groupthink, or what they deem disinformation. These internal documents that he dug through revealed the party has attempted to censor both the right and the left equally. They've set their sight on Glenn Greenwald, Michael Schellenberger, even my co-host, Brianna Joy Gray over here.
Not me. Right, that's right. What's more, part of the UK files out today reveals how Britain countering digital hate is being implemented, plus a discussion among political operatives in the UK on how to use fake news to destroy opponents while hiding behind the guise as an operation dedicated to fighting fake news. Here to discuss his most recent expose is Matt Taibbi himself. Welcome back, Matt.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
And this is such an important topic. I think lots of folks are focused on misinformation as we're seeing these kind of anti-misinformation efforts ramp up in the wake of the conflict going on in Gaza. Tell us what's happening here.
So this comes from a cache of documents that have had kind of a long provenance. There was a whistleblower who a long while ago got hold of a lot of internal Labour Party documents, and they've kind of made the rounds. They've ended up in the hands of an investigative journalist named Paul Edward Holden, who did this report for us. And what they show is really the whole history of the Center for Countering Digital Hate, whose CEO is a guy named Imran Ahmed. And what's crucial, I think the key point that comes out in these early releases is that this group, its origins come from a faction of the Labour Party, and it was dreamed up while Ahmed was working for the Labour Party. So this idea that it's an independent operation, it really doesn't hold water. It's a Labour Party operation.
So these, according to the files, tell us more about who specifically was, whose speech was imperiled by this, and what was the mechanism? You know, this group goes to the social media companies and says you need to take down XYZ posts for that reason. Is that what we're looking at here?
So that's the end story of CCDH, right? Like the Center for Countering Digital Hate, they're all over the Twitter files, for instance. Like they're the most aggressive, kind of relentless group that we thought was an NGO. It had the appearance of an outside, sort of quasi-private or privately funded organization, and they would aggressively go after groups like disinformation prison. They would demand companies like Twitter take all of these accounts down. They would be working very closely with mainstream news organizations like the Financial Times. We had one email from the FT to Twitter saying, if you're not going to let us, if you're not going to take down these accounts by the end of the day, could you please give us a steer on that? And they would pass on the list that the CCDH had given. But we thought, when we first looked at this, at the Twitter files, that the CCDH was just an independent group. What these documents are going to end up showing, and the first part of them,
it leans forward.
Is that this is really,
so they put it
as a Labour Party operation, particularly one faction tied to a thing called Labour Together. And they started with a pair of episodes in around 2015 and 2017 involving one Tory politician and then one sort of Corbynite group.
So can you give us a flavor of the kind of posts that they were trying to get taken down? Was there a particular subject matter?
That's probably why they put it
focus on, let's say, COVID posts.
But they are retarded.
News during the COVID era.
Well, CCDH has a very broad idea of what constitutes a bigoted or hateful post. In fact, the CEO Imran Ahmed actually did a post once where he described everyone from Modi to Donald Trump to Jeremy Corbyn to the alt-right to other populist movements around the world as sort of one political movement that was alive by hate. So they sort of see everybody who's not within the kind of narrow neoliberal framework as being threatening. We saw this in the Twitter files. They particularly were very aggressive about the vaccine topic, but they also went after other groups that they thought propagated what they called hate on other things involving, for instance, racial relations. But sometimes that was just sort of a cover, I think, for a political disagreement, and that's what comes out in these documents.
You're right that there's a lot of guilt by association narratives to attack the reputations of both conservative and leftist politicians. And it's interesting, what we were saying about this yesterday with the New York Times hit piece, if you will, on Russell Brand, a lot of the piece was, these are the kinds of people that he has in his show. Maybe I don't have a lot of critiques about Russell Brand's politics, but look, he's had he's had Peter Doran, he's had David Bond, etc. Is that the nature of some of the conversations that we've been seeing?
Yeah, I mean, SCCDH, in the Financial Times, actually, one of the things that they did
it starts off by being like, so, are you willing to fuck a pig on live television?
You know, I support
and I was like, whoa, what are we talking about? Is he actually gonna do it? Is this gonna be like shown on the TV? Cause like, that's kind of sick, even if it is like, not real.
Once the accusation is leveled, the person is already toxic. And yes, they do a lot of this sort of guilt by association. Your show has these people on it, therefore there's a problem with that. I got in trouble with a group similar to this because I interviewed Max Blumenthal once, and had people dogging me for being like, wrong on the Syria issue, even though I've never once written about Syria.
Oh, my chair is not going backward. I'm gonna change it, or no, I'm gonna change it.
This group is very influential, and they have been apparently going back a long way, but their influence was not known until now.
This strikes me as sort of.
I was wondering why the king wasn't on the right.
Research. You know, typically you have an activist group, or maybe you have a political faction aligned with a candidate. Maybe that candidate's running against an incumbent, so they dig up dirt and then they contact the reporter and they share with them that information and they try to get the reporter, the media, to write about, publicize whatever the research shows. Now that the group itself, without even going to the media network, they obviously use the media quite effectively, just brand themselves as expertise, experts on disinformation,
No, what the fuck, like,
and then if they don't get what they want, the media, swoops in to say, well, look, these experts are saying that these are harmful posts and harmful speech, and the social media company's not doing anything about it.
Yeah, they're really just formalizing, as you said, they're formalizing something that's gone on in politics forever, which is this Oppo relationship. And if you've ever covered campaigns, you kind of know how that works. There's usually a private research firm that digs up everything negative they can possibly find about the opposing candidate. That gets told to you in a way that's, you're not handed a folder full of the stuff, but, it's told to you over a bar. In a conversation with somebody wearing a tie who's a legit source. But basically it's research to political source to reporter, and then that all comes out. This just formalizes and makes the process and makes it an instantaneous kind of internet based thing. The problem is that all those relationships are concealed. So what we see, for instance, in episodes like Brickgate, which has a lot of similarities to the Bernie Bro phenomenon in the United States, where a group of supporters of Jeremy Corbyn were accused of throwing a brick through the window of another Labour politician who was not with Corbyn. Now, there was never any evidence that any of these people were involved with throwing a brick, but they just created the appearance of it and pushed this story very, very heavily. And no one really knew that they had any part in this story. It just looked like it was an organically reported story.
Yeah, that's right. I was just going to ask if we know anything about where this group gets its funding. Obviously, the Global Disinformation Index, which is a similar group that I think is also British in origin, did indirectly get some funding from the U.S. State Department, which I found particularly obnoxious given how blatantly they were engaged in censorship. Do we know anything about this group?
We do. There was the piece that came out in the Racket yesterday was a companion to a Sunday Times expose that came up over the weekend that showed that this group was getting a significant amount of money. I think it was £700,000 from a British billionaire that they didn't. I think they didn't. The issue was they didn't declare all of it. But that was all private funding. We haven't found yet any instances of what you were talking about with GBI, where there's state funding that makes its way into these organizations. But crucially, at the beginning of all this, the key people involved were still working as labor staffers. So one way or another, there's some government money involved.
So I have to ask Matt, you know, it is what I got for similar to the Bernie Bro phenomenon that was apparent in Brick Cape that brought Corbin down. Did I get Bernie Bro in that?
Maybe, you know, I think that's very possible. I mean, look, the way these things work is, you know, they're going after anybody. I think this has been a major misperception of this whole issue among people who are kind of the center leftist position. They think, oh, well, this is just going after people who are right-wing belligerents or anti-vaxxers or some other kind of socially unacceptable person. Really, that's not true. They're going after anybody who is politically outside, very not mainstream. And that can include Jeremy Corbyn, it can include
I'm thinking I might give my little heater next to the bed.
The consistent strategy.
Give it to the guy at Tim Hortons and
everybody a bigot, intolerant.
You really? I'm like amazed at the amount of times that I actually find sockets on buildings outside. Like, cause that thing kind of saved us during the winter. Like that little heater honestly saved our asses when we were in the truck. Cause we would have fucking frozen down. Like.
Recent enough to be able to get I wouldn't put money against that.
Alright, I'm looking forward to hearing more about this reporting from you, Matt. Please go check it out on Racket and at your Substack, right? Alright, okay, thanks for joining us.
Oh my God.
What? You made your chair better? Does it make it get any better?
I thought that it was perfect, and this is going significantly better.
It's the mainstream media defending Canada for honoring
Look at me now. It's paper.
Honoring a former SS soldier.
No, people are free and people are fucking.
Once I found a Samsung monitor with a TV, and you had the power button, like the switch on the back.
Oh my god, I hate when that happens though.
But wait, in front you had something that said white touch.
Yeah.
So you don't see the buttons,
It's
but
like my computer.
huh?
My computer in here
Yeah.
does the same thing.
In recent reporting, journalists
You don't actually have to touch it.
is this
You just put your finger like
in history?
like,
Yeah, but you can see actually where it is though. On the other one, it just says white touch, and then it was saying volume, power, and built underneath the TV, so you could see it, so the person could tell it. You just have to put your finger.
Yeah, I've never been able to clear up exactly how to use that phrase.
why would you make a TV that you cannot see the power button?
And it's a white touch, like there's
Yeah,
no
this
button
is just
around.
Like if you're already gonna use like the other buttons, they're invisible. Why would you also be
Right.
a former member of the Waffen SS who had a demonstrable record of this, who had blogged about it.
Oh my God, this chair is fucking
these incredible video scenes of the entire parliament standing and applauding, including Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Deputy Prime Minister and former colleague of mine, Christy.
telling you, you're gonna fucking be like, wow. Like the amount of shit that I come down with garbage that I'm like, this is hundreds of dollars. Like,
Oh, Matt said who birthday? It's not his birthday today?
what? Is it? Yeah.
Editorials like this one, basically saying, well, actually, this wasn't so bad to be a Nazi in this situation. I mean, there are two reasons why this editorial is crazy. One is that these are Canadians who are applauding somebody who's fighting on the other side of a war where Canadians died.
Yeah.
And the other one is that I don't think the Nazis were terribly.
You told me it was whose birthday? Oh.
Back in the day, that's a good point of why they're so
Matthew.
So the idea that somebody who swore an allegiance to
Because I heard, anyway, I'm sorry.
really be a Nazi.
It's okay, I said sorry, wrong person, it doesn't matter. Theo? Said, yeah, I said sorry, wrong person.
Misinformation and disinformation, and weirdly, there was a statement from Trudeau that said that Russian disinformation, that we have to be careful about it. This is from folks who made the choice not just to bring this guy around, but to honor him and give him a standard ovation. What do you make of the response of the Canadian government to this? And I just really thought this disinformation fear.
Don't fuck around with me.
Well, this
yeah, right?
Fascinates me, kind of horrifies me. You're absolutely right. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau gave, in the wake of this on Yom Kippur, he gave a short, sort of off-the-cuff statement where he said it was a terrible thing. He didn't personally apologize. He said that the Speaker of the Commons had apologized. And then he said, but we have to be careful to not to fall victim to Russian disinformation about this issue, as if this were an episode of Russian disinformation. Now, from their point of view, after a year of studying this problem and looking at the Twitter files, I know what they're thinking. They actually do believe that somebody who's in alignment with the views of, for instance, anti-Ukraine sentiment or the fact that the Russians may take advantage of this issue, that means that this news is in itself disinformation. They've used that as a definition of it, and they've convinced some of the platforms that that's a definition of disinformation. And that's what's dangerous, is that they're throwing these terms around when there is no disinformation here. The Russians weren't even a character in this story until Trudeau brought it up.
Right, and there's, I think it's interesting who gets how should I say this? In which cases nuance is applied to the Nazi label is becoming increasingly interesting. I mean, you have, like, in some circumstances, like, everyone on the right sort of being described as Nazi, anyone who supports Trump, by the misinformation crowd, the people who are countering misinformation. But then when you have cases of, actual, I mean, there are, it's true, it's not misinformation to say it, actual cases of Nazi-aligned fighters on, for instance, the Ukrainian side, the side that the counter-misinformation people support, then it's like, well, it's complicated. That's fine, true, I get that. But the benefit of the doubt, or the greater nuance, is not applied to the enemies or the opponents of this cast of characters.
It's like I bought a dating.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Trudeau just over a year ago was describing the
and like the legs super matter because some are made of plastic and then some are made of metal.
Yeah, because when actually, if you look at those pictures, it was almost entirely people who were waving.
$1,000 worth of chairs, not even.
Right? Like, and I just did literally a little.
The imagery, yes, but they're doing it in a way to try to criticize the Canadian government. In the case of Ukraine, it is a little bit complicated. Look, there are neo-Nazis on both sides of this affair. I remember covering skinhead marches outside of soccer games in Russia. There was a burgeoning far-right neo-Nazi movement even back in the early 2000s.
Like, can you imagine if we actually went out garbage picking?
Some of the
And actually poured like a significant amount of effort?
But we will.
Really not Nazism, or in the case of this actual soldier, Yaroslav Bunka, who literally was a Nazi, that this is not actually, Nazism. That comparison is pretty graphic.
And people were super shitty about it. Like, I found
seems to be driven by a refusal, or let's say some tension around the reality.
With like the mentions that go with it, and they're also like grounded. It was really, really cool. I was like flying through
reality into the contemporary context in which it is seditious to say anything nice about anything that ever happened in Russia. Don't have a Russian
Like, you guys fucking suck. You guys really salty and so good, and you guys were like, oh, fuck this bitch. We're gonna take it.
People were trying to ban Tolstoy. I mean, this is the environment where we're in, but they're trying to retcon the Soviet Union's contributions to World War II does seem to be, to me, to be one of the more galling aspects.
Well, right, and some of that is understandable because, of course, the history there is that the Soviet Union initially concluded one of the most cynical treaties in history, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, where the Soviets and the National Socialists, who were absolute abject ideological enemies, they sort of concluded a non-aggression treaty between the two of them, which Hitler then broke, bringing the Soviet Union onto our side of the war. But the Russians and the Soviets suffered unimaginable horrors during World War II to degrees that I think Americans don't really understand. The scale of the death and the suffering was such that for generations later, there was a deficit of men in the Soviet Union. It was difficult for women to find people to marry because there were so many people who had been killed during World War II. And this continues to have a ripple effect throughout Russia today. And I think Americans don't, and Canadians probably don't remember exactly how difficult that war was for the Soviet Union, for the people of the Soviet Union, not necessarily for the government, but the people.
Yeah, the people are always the ones that suffer in these conflicts, something we're remembering, recalling very much right now given what's going on in Israel. Matt, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So you know that game, green light, red light?
Yeah.
It was that robot kid at the end of the yard like this, and then it's going, green light, everybody goes, and then we move, the sensor gets them, and get shot. Everybody just got shot.
A recent political op-ed states that history is complicated because, quote, fighting against the USSR at the time didn't necessarily make you a Nazi, just someone who had an excruciating choice over which of these two terror regimes to resist. The op-ed makes the case that the Chandra Hunter should have never been indicted to Hitler's House of Commons, but not because he himself might be guilty of any crime, but because history is complex.
In recent reporting, journalist Matt Taibbi begs the question, is this the worst op-ed in history? And writes, Politico gives National Socialism its finest makeover since springtime for Hitler. Journalist Matt Taibbi joins us now to discuss. Great to have you back, and I apologize, I think, for my misuse of the phrase beg the question there. It's not what you're doing. You're raising important questions about what is going on with this op-ed. Please educate us.
Yeah, I've never been able to clear up exactly how to use that phrase, but so it's okay. Yeah, I did it wrong too.
So tell us more about the story.
Yeah, I mean, this is just in the wake of that kind of unforced error in Canada where the Canadian Parliament invites, a former member of the Waffen-SS who had a demonstrable record of this, who had blogged about it, and has, you have these incredible video scenes of the entire Parliament standing and applauding, including Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Deputy Prime Minister and former colleague of mine, Christy Freeling, former reporter from Russia. They're all applauding this person, and then the response isn't to basically say we screwed up or we're sorry, but to there were editorials like this one basically saying, well, actually, it wasn't so bad to be a Nazi in this situation. I mean, there are two reasons why this editorial is crazy. One is that these are Canadians who are applauding somebody who's fighting on the other side of a war where Canadians died. And the other one is that I don't think the Nazis were terribly interested in the subtleties of which uniform you were wearing back in the day. That's the whole point of why they're so villainous. So the idea that somebody who swore an allegiance to Hitler, it may not really be a Nazi. That's a pretty unusual take to ever see in a prestigious publication.
And you're right to point out that the response wasn't just a pat, I'm sorry, this is embarrassing, I made a mistake. There was this effort to kind of wrap it up in this fear mongering about misinformation and disinformation. And weirdly, there was a statement from Trudeau that seemed to implicate that this was Russian disinformation, that we had to be careful about it. This is from folks who made the choice not just to bring this guy along, but to honor him and give him a standing ovation. What would you make of the response of the Canadian government to this? And I just seen any follow up about trying to tie this to this disinformation fear that's afoot.
Well, this an angle to it fascinates me and kind of horrifies me. You're absolutely right. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau gave, in the wake of this on Yom Kippur, he gave a short, sort of off-the-cuff statement where he said it was a terrible thing. He didn't personally apologize. He said that the Speaker of the Commons had apologized. And then he said, but we have to be careful to not to fall victim to Russian disinformation about this issue, as if this were an episode of Russian disinformation. Now, from their point of view, after a year of studying this problem and looking at the Twitter files, I know what they're thinking. They actually do believe that somebody who's in alignment with the views of, for instance, anti-Ukraine sentiment or the fact that Russians may take advantage of this issue, that means that this news is in itself disinformation. They've used that as a definition of it, and they've convinced some of the platforms that that's a definition of disinformation. And that's what's dangerous, is that they're throwing these terms around when there is no disinformation here. The Russians weren't even a character in this story until Trudeau brought it up.
Right, and there's, I think it's interesting who gets how should I say this? In which cases nuance is applied to the Nazi label is becoming increasingly interesting. I mean, you have, like, in some circumstances, like everyone on the right sort of being described as Nazi, anyone who supports Trump, by the misinformation crowd, the people who are counter misinformation. But then when you have cases of, actual, I mean, there are, it's true, it's not misinformation to say it, actual cases of Nazi-aligned fighters on, for instance, the Ukrainian side, decide that the counter misinformation people support, then it's like, well, it's complicated, and we need to understand the history, and that's fine, true, I get that, but the benefit of the doubt, or the greater nuance, is not applied to the enemies or the opponents of this cast of characters.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Trudeau, just over a year ago, was describing the Canadian truckers in negative terms for having some people who brandish swastikas, when actually, if you look at those pictures, it was almost entirely people who were waving pictures of swastikas and accusing the Canadian government of being Nazis. So they were invoking the imagery, yes, but they were doing it in a way to try to criticize the Canadian government. In the case of Ukraine, it is a little bit complicated. Look, there are neo-Nazis on both sides of this affair. I remember covering skinhead marches outside of soccer games in Russia. There was a burgeoning far-right neo-Nazi movement even back in the early 2000s. But to just flat out ignore some of the use of this imagery, or to say that it's not really not Nazism, or in the case of this actual soldier, Yaroslav Hunka, who literally was a Nazi, that this is not actually Nazism. That comparison is pretty graphic between those two things.
Part of this seems to be driven by a refusal, or let's say some hypertension on the reality of the heavy lift that the Soviet Union played in helping us to defeat Nazism, losing 27 million of its soldiers in that effort, and having to kind of retrofit that reality into the contemporary context in which it is seditious to say anything nice about anything that ever happened in Russia, done by a Russian. The Russian tea room over on Connecticut Ave got shut down after the war. People were trying to ban Tolstoy. I mean, this is the environment where we're in, but we're trying to retcon the Soviet Union's contribution to World War II does seem to be, to me, to be one of the more galling aspects of it.
Well, right, and some of that is understandable because, of course, the history there is that the Soviet Union initially concluded one of the most cynical treaties in history, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, where the Soviets and the National Socialists, who were absolutely abject ideological enemies, they sort of concluded a non-aggression treaty between the two of them, which Hitler then broke.
That was amazing.
Bringing, the Soviet
Wow.
Union onto our side of the war. But the Russians and the Soviets suffered unimaginable horrors during World War II to degrees that I think Americans don't really understand. The scale of the death and the suffering was such that for generations later, there was a deficit of men in the Soviet Union. It was difficult for women to find people to marry because there were so many people who had been killed during World War II. And this continues
Yeah,
to
and
ripple
then
effect
that
throughout
prohibition, he was like, I will
today.
give you a bottle for
And
free
I
if you
think
stop
Americans
doing that.
Canadians probably don't remember exactly how difficult that war was for the Soviet Union, for the people of the Soviet Union, not necessarily for the government, for the people.
Yeah, the people are always the ones that suffer in these conflicts, something we're remembering, recalling very much right now, given what's going on in Israel. Matt, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
I can get her a picture. And like I watched him do it, I was like, no way! Oh God, it's gone. It's gone. Well, we're down one pillowcase. Great. It's not like I could fucking use it after that. It's fucking gross. We got fucking, what do you call it? The Black Plague?
Yeah.
Friday, the Fifth Court of Appeal upheld these restrictions that were imposed by the judge. A new Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry has hailed. Here he is